said, hearken to your wife, for Isaac is my promise is gonna lay on. So the Lord said, my promise is with you, but then I'm gonna throw it to Isaac. But look, just for that, I'm gonna bless Ishmael. I'm gonna bless him. But they all got sent their way. So what are you Christians talking about when the Lord specifically said, I'm turning my promise to Isaac, not to all your children, because Abraham all had all kind of children. He had all kind of children from different wives. So, as we read here, not of seeds as a many, but seeds as a one, which ultimately comes out of Jacob, which is where Yahushua came from.
With Isaac did he establish likewise, for Abraham his father's sake, the blessing of all men and the covenant.
So that blessing, multiplying the seed stars, the whole shebang, was given to Isaac.
Blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob.
So it went to Jacob. That's why we refer to him as Isaac. I'm sorry, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why Yahushua says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's to show you what line that the Lord is dealing with.
That's right.
By promise. Because first thing somebody jump up and say is, well, we're all the seed of Abraham, or we're all the seed of Adam. But who's the promises going to? Who did it go to?
That's right.
Hey, we all go back to Noah, but Noah had 3 sons. Who did Abraham come out of? He came out of Shem.
That's right. They even sing those songs in churches. That Father Abraham, many sons, and many sons, Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. You know.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, and that's just all just to get everybody together.
To make it seem like there's no division or whatever. They deliberately ignore the words that come from the Heavenly Father. See, when the words come from a man, who's being moved in the Spirit of the Lord, those are the words people try to debate. Like Paul. All this, all that. Who's Paul? But you don't deal with the words of Yahweh. Yahweh said, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. And guess what? Isaac had multiple seed. He had 2 children. Who did the promise go to? It didn't go to Esau. And then the Lord said he hated Esau.
That's right.
So like I said, Edomites can get puffed up, proud off the dollar, their gun. But they're not children of the promise. We are.
That's right.
And just like we mentioned earlier with the giants, the Most High could have easily just dealt with the big, strong giants, deal with physical outward appearance. He didn't do that. In fact, can you get Deuteronomy 7 and 6? And then the verse after. We'll read that. See, the world, your perception of the Lord is completely wrong. You think the Most God can't hate, he can't divide, he can't separate, there's no special people, nobody's better than the next person. The Most High deals with, I don't know, I guess successfulness, if you're successful or whatever it is. Yeah. You don't understand how the Most High operates. The Most High looks on the inward.
That's right.
You got it.
Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people, but because the Lord loved you, and because the Lord set his affection on us. It says, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers.
See, there's that oath again. There's that promise again. See, the Lord said, he said, I didn't love Jacob because we were the most of people. We were the fewest of people at the time. So does the Lord deal with large numbers? Yes and no. When it comes to salvation, the Most High is dealing with a small number, a very small number. But when he chose Israel, we were the least of the people. The least. That's why we had many enemies. We were pretty much surrounded. these other nations were only happy when we were in slavery. That
Right.
also pisses me off. The second we came out of slavery, they all like, oh, hell no.
That's right.
Let's go get them. Edom came, Amalek came, they got cursed. Moab tried to curse us. Our curse turned into a blessing, and his ass got cursed. And then many other nations that kept coming after us. Hey, when we was in slavery, during the time of
Cyrus.
Cyrus and Artaxerxes, I believe,
Yeah.
what happened when we tried to rebuild the kingdom? They hindered us. Don't let them rebuild shit. They gonna rebuild, they ain't gonna pay taxes, and they hindered our building. Time of Esther, sent out the decree because the dude hated, I think it's Haran, he hated Mordecai. Like, I don't like this dude. What do you think he is? Mordecai wouldn't bow to these heathen. Like, yeah, but and then Haran, he said, man, I hate the Jews. And he was like, look, put out a kill order to kill all these motherfucking Jews. Right? And the Lord had to deliver us.
I think his name might have been Haman.
Amen. What I said?
Yeah.
So constantly, we've been attacked. We've been on the bottom too. That's why they was able to issue out those kill orders. Because they're like, look, we can take them. We wasn't in rulership back then. We were on the bottom. But the Lord still loved us. That's why these other nations marvel at us. Man. They marvel. They're like, man, these people ain't nothing. But the Lord loved them. You know, they can't even hold a job. They don't even have land. And really, we can. We just was denied those services. They put us in slavery. Esau knows if Jake gets a little wiggle room, hey, we'll take off. So they keep us oppressed by all means. By all means. That's it on that. Yeah, finish it.
Back in Ecclesiasticus chapter 44, verse 23, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him an heritage and divided his portions among the 12 tribes. Did he part them?
Man.
So yeah, if I could add, even when you think of the nation of Israel, like the teacher's pet, nobody liked the teacher's pet, but they all were, you know, a lot of times they were a lot weaker, or I should say, frail than the other students, but the teacher always had their back. It's kind of the same way if you look at the Most High in Israel. Even when we were few in number, the Most High looked out for us and came to our behalf in protection from our enemies.
Right.
And just like the teacher pet analogy, everybody likes to pick on a teacher's pet or have a animosity or a negative eye toward them. Like the golden child per se. But that's Israel, and that's another reason why these nations hate us.
Yeah, and you got examples like that in the scriptures. Joseph is one. Who's the youngest. Jacob loved him more than the youngest. And the other 11 was like, man, let's get rid of this. Because in teacher's pay, you don't get mad at the teacher, you get at the student. So it's the same thing with Jacob. With Israel. That's why they met them. You people don't understand racism. You think it's something you can it's just misunderstanding between the two. No, it's not. Jake want to put Esau down and try to tell them like, look, I am not the nigga. All right, I have a degree. I finished school. Look at me for my credentials. And don't look at me because of my outward appearance. I'm not a thug. And you think that matters to them? You don't understand racism. The reason it's there is because they know that we are children of the promise. Esau is carnal. Esau says if we take the world and we take the land, then we're going to be on top. But they really still on the bottom. And even though they did all this, they still can't dance. They still can't play basketball. They still can't play football. And they still can't fight. They get their ass whooped in the ring. They do all this and they still suck. And they still on the bottom.
Take steroids and all that.
Yeah, because they ain't got the spirit. They don't got the spirit. They have to lie to the world to make it seem like they're special.
That's right.
That's right.
Like that Edomite woman said, she said every white person is racist. She said if you take away the fact that being white makes them special, what do they have? Which is very true. Take that away, what they got? They ain't got shit. What do they have to glory in? Nothing. So they have to think that being a so-called white person just makes them special. Because they have no history to really glory in because it's all evil and wickedness.
That's right.
They had to lie to create their history. You
Yeah.
went to the moon. No, the hell you didn't. George Washington was a great man. No, he wasn't. He was a slave. Abraham Lincoln was a slave. No, the hell he didn't. Damn, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, exactly.
Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Christopher Columbus discovered America on accidents. No, the hell he didn't. Well, it was because of trade, and eventually we got over. No, you pulled out a sword and you did endless killing. So Thanksgiving is all about no, it's not. It's about murder. You see, they ain't got nothing. They got nothing. So they have to lie. But they think, well, we took the world, we can do all this, and that'll make us special. Wrong. Why are we special? Because we got the Spirit, and because we got the promise. And that's why the Lord fulfilling His promise when He said, "I will set them in order before thine eyes." That's happening right now. You see, we don't know all the things that go through Esau's mind. Esau loses sleep off of this. We wake up vexed, wake up the next day because we got to go to fucking work. But Esau losing sleep knowing that he can't stop this. He know that his end is inevitable.
Right.
Some are thinking, well, let me side with them. Some are thinking, let's just kill them. Let's just take them down. Let's just lock them up. Let's stop their mouths. That might do something, but it's not.
Second Chronicles 21:5. Jehoram was 32 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, like as did the house of Ahab. But he had his daughter Ahab as a wife, and he wrought that which was evil in the eyes of the Lord. Howbeit the Lord would not destroy the house of David, because of the covenant that he had made with David as he promised.
So this is an example of the Most High being the man of His word. King David was gone, and the only one you can say that heard him was because you say King David, right? When he made that one-on-one, when he made that promise. This man did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and the Lord allowed it to happen, all for King David's sake.
Verse 7. Okay, verse 5. Second Chronicles 21:5. Jehoram was 32 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, like as did the house of Ahab. For he had the daughter of Ahab to wife, and he wrought that which was evil in the eyes of the Lord. Howbeit the Lord would not destroy the house of David, because of the covenant that he had made with David, and as he promised to give a light to him and to his sons forever.
Okay, so you may say, ask a historian or some type of scholar that studies the scriptures, it's always going to come down to the same thing because of the promise or the covenant. Well, why didn't the Lord destroy him? He was doing evil right there. Oh, because of the promise that He made with David that his seed would pretty much reign for so long after him. Why did Jacob receive the blessing? Because of the promise that he made with Abraham. Why did they take the land? Because of the promise. Why was Yahweh born? Because of the promise. He made that promise back in Moses' days. He said that Yahweh was going to come forth. Well, why did Yahweh come forth? Because he was supposed to be the sacrifice for the new covenant, which was promised. The new covenant is about to come in full effect because the Lord promised that. So what you get from this is that the Most High is a man of His word, and that this is all about what He says. If He speaks, it's going to happen. So if He says He's going to take Esau, the white man, down and put him in slavery, you can bet your whole life savings on it.
That's right.
You can bet your whole life on it.
That's right.
Because the Most High said it was going to happen. And more importantly, the prophets saw visions of Esau going into slavery. In fact, why can you get that? I think it's Numbers 24. He said, I shall see him, but not now. So, 24. But if the prophets saw, if they saw America be destroyed, if they saw Israel on top, Yahweh Shah put a crown on the elect's head, if none of that was to happen, that would make the Most High lie. And the Most High is a man that he should not lie.
That's right.
And he don't lie. So if he gave the vision to these prophets, that means it's gonna happen. And if it don't happen, wouldn't that make him a liar? You can't undo that. It's already been sealed. We just fulfilling our part until it happens. Because we believe it's gonna happen according to the promise. That's why Esau believes, because he's a carnal man. That's why he believes that he can do whatever he wants to us and kill us, because there's nothing to stop him. That's what he thinks. Because they're like, look, I'm the one with the gun. I can kill you and get away with it. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. That's what he thinks. And the scripture says the Most High shall laugh at him, because inwardly he knows that he had his hand. You can see it. Did you find it? Okay, yeah.
Deuteronomy 24 and 17.
Numbers.
Oh yeah, kind of. Numbers 24 and 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and smite the corners of Moab, and destroy the children of Shep.
Who's that star? That's Yahweh Shah. He envisioned all this. Keep going.
And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiant. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remains